yeah, 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 ha 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 ha, ho ho ho.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you guys so much for stopping by with me today. Well, in this video I'm going to show you guys how I achieved this makeup look using one of the most expensive pieces of makeup that I ever bought, and that's my Ft.Pat palette. But yes, let's just jump right into this tutorial. So first I'm going to start off with doing my brows, and how I like to do my brows, I brush them first just to see how they lay, and then I'll fill them in where needed. I mainly fill in the end part of my brows because that's where my brows is more sparse. And after doing that, and the brow pencil I'm using is the MAC Velux Brow. I think that's what it's called. If that's not the name, I'll put it on the screen. And then after filling it in, I like to go back and brush it again just to fade out the pencil so it's not so obvious in the brow, or just to blend it in a little bit. Then I'm going to conceal, and I only conceal the bottom of my brow. And I'm going to use my NARS Complete Matte Full Coverage Concealer. I think that's the name, something like that. And I'm using a MAC 242 brush just to carve out the bottom of my brow. Now, this concealer dries matte, so it works perfect, and I love creams for my brow. This is the only thing that I use whenever my brow is carved out, y'all. And then after doing that, what I like to do is to bring the concealer down a little bit so it blends more easily and not just look like you put a line of concealer around your brows. And be sure to blend this concealer out until it's not really that visible. And then I'm going to move into priming my eyelids, and I'm using MAC Painterly Paint Pot to prime my eyelids. And I'm just going to blend this in right with the concealer. Blend it right up into the concealer until it's nice and smooth and seamless. Because if your base is seamless, the shadows will blend more perfectly over it. Now, moving into shadows, I'm going to take my MAC Red Eye x9 eyeshadow palette. This palette was a limited palette. It's no longer available, but you could still find these colors, okay? And I'm going to use that pink from it in the crease. And I'm going to build this up a little bit and keep blending, you know, B&B, yep. And guys, please take your time and blend. You're not going to see the full length of time that I blend because this video has been speed up and edited. So spend your time blending. And now, moving into my Mothership palette from Ft.Pat. This palette is from Pat McGrath. If you don't know who she is, you maybe shouldn't be watching this video. I'm just saying, you have to know her. She's amazing and so inspiring. And I'm going to take that brown from it, and oh my gosh, you guys don't understand my reaction right here. My fingernails pierced 2 holes in 2 of the shadows towards the end right there, and let me just tell you, I was so mad. I've had this palette since last December, and I didn't really use it. I used it like 2 or 3 times because, you know, $125 for a palette, you just buy it to have it to sit on your dresser or on your vanity just to stay there and look cute. You don't really want to use it. But nah, I'm about to start using it a little more often now. And I'm taking the matte brown from it, and I'm going to blend it on the outer corner and the inner corner of my eyes, just to start framing out my halo eye, because we're going for a halo eye look in this tutorial. Okay, so after you blend it in both corners, or you know what I mean, you're just gonna start blending it and fading it in the crease from one end to the other. So the color is more stronger towards the inner part and the outer part, and more faded in the middle. Now I'm going to go back into the Red Eye x9 palette, and I'm going to take that purple shade. I will leave the names of the shades on the screen, so don't worry guys. And I'm going to blend that right over where I put the brown, and then do the same thing. Blend it inwards and lightly fade it into the crease in the middle. Okay, I hope I'm making sense. And then I'll go back with the brush that I used for the brown, and I'm just gonna blend right over the edges so they're nice and seamless and blended. Now I'm gonna cut the middle of the crease, and all I like to do is I like to open my eyes and look and just mark the area right above where my eyes fold, and then I'll just start framing it out. And when you're doing like a cut crease halo eye, you wanna pay attention to the way you're framing it so that it complements your eye. You're not cutting it too far towards the end, the outer corner of your eye, or towards the inner corner. You want to keep it more centered so that it will frame your eye and open it up as it's supposed to be. Okay, then after I blend the concealer there, I'm going to go back with the brush that I had the purple on, and I'm going to use it to blend the edges of the concealer so that it's not just sitting there harshly. It will be more blended. Okay, now after doing that, what I'm going to do is go into the Mothership palette again, and I'm going to take that lime green, and I'm using my fingers, and oh my gosh guys, this eyeshadow is worth every single penny. One swipe, you could do your entire eyeball or probably both eyes and still have more product. Okay, and I'm using my fingers because normally with shadows like these, your finger give a better payoff. However, the brush gave just as much a payoff as my fingers did, and that's amazing. Okay, that's what a $125 palette do. Let's just say, anyway, I got this palette on sale, by the way. I bought it when it was VIB last year, Sephora, and they were giving 20%. That's when I bought it. Now what I'm going to do is take a very small flat brush, and I'm going to go back into the shadow and just use it to frame out right there where we cut, so the cut is still evident. Is that making sense? I hope so. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tightline my eye, and I'm going to take this black pencil from MAC. It's called Graph Black, and I'm going to use that to just tightline my eyes, and then I'm going to pop these lashes on that I get from AliExpress.com. I will try to find a link to these lashes, and if I do, I will leave them in the description so you guys could check for that. And now moving into skin, I'm going to go for more of a dewy look today, even though I get dewy regardless because I'm an oily girl, so I'm always dewy after like 2 to 3 hours. But this is just going to make me a little bit more glowy instantly. This is the First Aid Beauty Prime and Moisturizer. I'm going to use that all over my face. It's a 2-in-1, so it makes it easier. Then I'm going to go into my Bobbi Brown foundation, of course. Now, if you're oily and you don't like to look dewy or oily, you may not like this Prime and Moisturizer because it's definitely more on the dewy side. However, my foundation is matte, so it will kind of balance it out and give me like that perfect dewiness that I'm going for. Moving into concealing, I'm going to take my favorite concealer, of course, and this is my Kat Von D concealer, and this is in the shade 37. And I'm just going to place it under my eyes to cover my Chanel bags, a little bit on the forehead, the center of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin area, you know the drill. And then I'm going to blend this out with a damp beauty blender, and this beauty blender is from Real Techniques. I've been trying to list my tools whenever I'm using them, but guys, sometimes it just don't happen. But I've been trying, so I hope I'm doing better for those of you who've been asking me to like tell you what I'm using to do my makeup. Now I'm going to take this brush, and see, I already forget the number of this brush, but I'll leave it on the screen. This is the foundation brush, and after my concealer, I like to go back with my foundation brush just to blend the edges so that everything is more blended and seamless. Now I'm going to set the areas where I concealed, and I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent powder to go over all those areas. And I'm not going to bake. As I said in my other videos, I'm not a baker, so I'm just lightly going to brush this powder right over these areas. And you do not have to set this foundation, but I'm going to set it because it's a matte foundation. You don't have to set it, but I like to put this powder over it because it will just blend with my skin tone a little bit better. Really like this powder for setting, and just add a little bit more smoothness to my skin. Okay, so this is the L'Oreal True Match powder in the shade C8. And I'm just going to use this to dust over my entire face, mainly the areas where I didn't put the Laura Mercier powder, but then I will also lightly brush it over those areas just to blend everything in a little bit better. Okay, now moving into my contour, what I'm going to use the contour is my MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade NW58, and I'm going to take this powder under my cheekbones, and that's an angle brush from Sedona Lace. I bought this brush set from them like years ago. I don't remember what number it is, but if there's a number on it, I will put it on the screen. Okay, I'm going to take this contour powder under my cheekbones, a little bit up towards my forehead area, my jawline, the bridges of my nose, and you know, everywhere where we contour. Okay. Now moving into my blushes slash highlight. You guys have seen these now for a minute. These are from MAC. They're in Extreme Dimension blushes, and I like to use the shade Hard to Get and then Telling Glow. And yeah, the texture will show. Obviously, JoJo, you're putting on highlighter. It means to highlight areas. But it's okay. I still like to glow, and those 2 pimples will be gone in a couple days. Y'all feel me, ladies? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Now I'm going to finish up this eye look, and I'm going to take the purple shade, and I'm going to put that right under my eye, really close to the eyeliner, just to tightly, lightly smoke it. And then I'm also going to take the pink color that I used in the crease, and I'm going to use that to just buff it out and smoke it out a little bit more. Now I'm going to add more highlighter, and I'm going to add the MAC Show Gold highlighter just to highlight a little bit more. And because it has a pink tint, I like this highlighter for the spring, or I don't know if it's because I'm wearing this pink color here, but I'm really loving this highlighter lately. And then I'm also going to place it in my tear duct and then a little bit under my brow bone. And then we're gonna ever so lightly, with no excess product on the brush, just run it along the bridge of my nose and my cupid's bow. I like to highlight my cupid's bow a little bit more, but that's fine. Then I'm gonna put on some mascara on my bottom lashes and also my top lash under the extension. Then I'll squeeze both together so they look more natural and not separated. Okay, now I'm gonna put my clear brow gel on. Y'all know how I feel about clear brow gel. Yep. I'm going to use that to just hold my brow hair in place and make my brows look a little bit more natural. Now moving into lips, I'm going to take Plum Lip Liner, also from MAC, and then I'm going to use Breathing Fire lipstick, which is also from MAC. But for a minute, I just want to talk about this eyeshadow. Do y'all see that pigmentation on my eyes? This eyeshadow is not even wet, damped, anything. That's just pure, straight from the palette. I love everything about these eyeshadows, and yeah, I feel like I need to buy all the palettes now. Oh my gosh, really, no joke, no. But anyway, this is the finished look, guys. Please thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know you like it. Thank you guys again so much for stopping in. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.